Hello, how's it going? Hope everyone is doing fantastic. Hope your bed sheets are warm and your food is tasty. And as you know, I recently got this Analog 2021 Squab shaped pigeon. Long name, I'll figure it out at some point. And I wanted to take it out for a nice session. So you're going to be seeing some footage here of me just starting to break the thing in, and I'm going to give you a whole bunch of details that I couldn't really give you during the unboxing, but that I now can give you. So if you want to drop a thumbs up, that would make my heart warm. If you want to subscribe to stick around, that might make your heart warm in the future. But we'll hop right into it. One thing that I neglected in the unboxing was the weight of the Tama and the Ken, which I think is important to some people. To me personally, it really makes no difference, and I really never notice how well something is balanced when one thing weighs as much as the other thing or whatever. But if you're interested, with my analog pigeon that I received in my mailbox, the Tama weighed in at 84 grams and the Ken 87 grams. So within 3 grams of each other. I think that's relatively weight matched. I'm not too sure, but I know a lot of weight matching, the threshold is like within 7 grams. So yeah, pretty spot on, weight matched. And like I said, that doesn't make a huge difference to me, but it is another plus if you want to pick one up yourself. If you do happen to be paying a lot of attention to the video, let me just say first and foremost, the weather this day was a lot. I basically transcended every of the 4 seasons all in this like 30-minute session. We went from cold breeze to hot sun to hurricane winds all at once, so forgive the lighting and the trees blowing and whatever. It was just one of those days and we'll have to roll with it. So breaking down this Natty experience, what am I feeling? First, like kind of impressions were that tricks such as the lunars and the lighthouses are just not going to be it right now, at least with the Tama not too broken in. So I did have a little discussion. If you want to check out the unboxing video, there were some great comments and tips and tricks for Natty Tamas and all that kind of stuff. Someone pointed out to me, this Tama in particular with the maple wood and the wenge wood, it's like super sanded down, so it's not lending itself super well to, grippy tricks where if it's a different kind of wood and the grain is like super bumpy, grainy, it might work better. But this Tama in particular, at least in the state it's in now, not too broken in, it makes those tricks really difficult. Not impossible, but if you're like, oh, I need a Tama to hit lunars with, this ain't it, chief. Unless, of course, you have some method you use to sticky up your own Tamas, and in that case, let me know. Give me your recipe, man. But with that little nitty-picky aside, this Tama is so much fun already in this first session. You can see if you're watching, I'm pretty much going strictly for juggles in this first bit, just because they're so fun with this Tama, and the Ken and the way it's balanced, everything just feels right in my hand to juggle it. And even if I want to go for another trick, I just have this urge to throw it in the air and juggle it because they feel so good with this shape. I think it's because the handle has a really good bulk to it. Like, I'd say I have average sized hand, or no, I have huge, massive, manly hand. No, I have average sized hands, and it feels pretty big to grip. And comparing it to like other kendamas, like a Sweet's Boost shape or whatever, it feels pretty bulky. I compare it to something like a lotus bloom shape or sacred shape. I don't know what the shape is actually called. I know there's the bloom is like the beechwood version and the sacred is like the more premium maple one. I don't know what the shape is actually called, but it's the lotus shape that they have out is a bit of a bigger, bulkier size, and that's what I draw like a reasonable comparison to because it feels bigger in the hand, and I think that heavier handle really lends itself to the juggles, like I said. Another thing is that the string, I don't know if it's special analog string or just whatever kind of string. I know a lot of people restring their own stuff. I pretty much just keep everything stock, and the analog string feels very light and thin, which, some people might consider a bad thing because it's thin, you might think is less durable, but I think it's a really good thing with the juggles. It feels like it stays out of the way, and with juggles that's like super important to not get tangled up in the string, and it feels very light. So between the string and the Ken itself and its weight, I really like this for juggles, and that's why you're seeing them here. The first juggle trick that I was trying to unlock was a fun 0-1-2 kind of juggle. where you pull up the juggle and then you don't spin the Ken at all, which is kind of harder than it looks, but it looks really satisfying to just see it go up like flat, and then the 1 turn and then the 2 turn juggle, so it's like 3 juggles total. And then to spike, I had never hit that one before, but with this Dama and the way it felt juggling, I knew that was one I had to chase in this session, so I managed to crank that one out, and oh how convenient, you're seeing it right now. So yeah, that was a super fun trick to hit. Just felt right, the time was right. I don't know, maybe I'll bring it up to the camera at some point here or cut that time of the video in or something. I dropped this Tama a lot, or should say Dama. I dropped the whole thing. I dropped it a lot onto the grass, and the grass was kind of wet, so I kind of gave myself a little custom green stain paint job on the spike and the edge of the cups, which I was sad about for like 10 seconds, but then I figured, we got to break this thing in, and now it's custom and it has some character, and it'll fade and whatever, so I'm over it. But yeah, maybe something to think about. If you want a green tint, go play in the wet grass. If you don't. Speaking of the spike, that leads me to another nice little discussion I had with my man Squabbles in the comment section of the unboxing video, kind of mentioning that it'd be a good idea to glue this spike up. And honestly, it wasn't something I really thought about because this is a maple Ken spike tip. The tip is maple, which is relatively hard and durable compared to something like beech. So it didn't really cross my mind to glue it up. But then he mentioned, like I said, the lunars and etc. weren't too great on the Tama, so we want to break it in a lot. And if we want to break it in a lot, maybe that glue tip will kind of accelerate that process. And then, of course, keep the tip nice at the same time. So it's kind of like a win-win. And I might want to do that now. I might want to glue it up, and that might also make the green tip look a little less green. Maybe that's a win-win. So let me know, do you usually glue up the tips on your maple spikes? Because I know a lot of people do with the beech, but do you bother gluing the maple tips too? Let me know. Because in all honesty, I do not rely, but I do appreciate tons of the tips and the tricks I get in the comment section, because contrary to probably not popular belief at all, contrary to what I like to think, I know basically nothing about kendama. I'm doing this for fun. All the videos is for fun, experimentation, and probably if you're listening to this, you know more than I do. So let me know. I'm figuring it out. I'm having fun with it. And I guess, do you glue your maple spikes is the first spark of conversation. The next little juggle trick you'll see, I was trying to get better feel for like the pull-up Ken flips, because I used to do this thing where I would like pull up the Tama and then do the early Ken flip as kind of like a two-step thing. But I always see people like pull up the Tama and then they spin the Ken at like the same time, and they get like tons of Ken flips. And I'm really bad at that, but I see a lot of people do it really well, and they manage to pull up the Tama nice and high, which whenever I try to do the Ken flip, pull up Ken flip thing, the Tama like doesn't go very high. So I was trying to work on that and weave it into like another juggle line, which I did manage to do, and I will conveniently show you that clip right here too. So there was 2 fun new juggle unlocks. I did start going for a third one, which you'll start to see is like the Insta Lighty to juggle. Not anything super crazy or creative, but just another way to enter the juggle, and I thought it'd be fun to, go for another unlock before the rain started pouring on my head. Something to mention that I don't mention often is like gunslingers. I know people are often interested, oh, is it good for slings? And I'm like, I don't know, but with the weight of the handle and the feeling of the cups, I tried a couple gunslingers, not very good at them, but it feels good in the hand, and I think any situation where this Ken is spinning in circles, it just feels right to me. So that's my 2 cents on that. I want to get to stalls, but the weather is about to get super nasty out here, and before I went inside, I wanted to give you a little look at my dad's garden, which is maybe exciting, maybe not exciting. It'll be exciting to future me when I watch this video back, so enjoy that little clip before we go inside. And old man version of me, I hope you enjoy this, you boring man. Got some green beans. Maybe there's some beans. Oh yeah, look at those beans. Tons of tomatoes. Father's pride and joy. Basil. The motherland of eggplants. Looks kind of creepy, like they're all little people. Oh, dangly. Oh, that's kind of dark. Yeah, lots of eggplant. Lots of eggplant. This was zucchinis. They didn't do too well. Kale. Raspberries. Bee. The bee's gone. Alright, peace. And now that you're either hungry for a salad or disgusted by vegetables, we can get to the last little bit. We're back inside comfort of home to go for some stalls. This was another interesting part of the Natty experience. Feeling, because something like a bird or a nightingale, which is like the other side of the bird, a lot of times they rely on the sticky paints against the spike to add a little bit more balance to the stall, a little more ease to the stall, but of course this Dama doesn't have that. So those stalls did feel good. The bevel was still relatively sharp, so it felt like it bit onto those stall points pretty good, and I don't know if that's going to get better or worse with time, but I'll update you. The first stall I was trying to unlock, or not really unlock with this one. I've already hit the handle stall a handful of times on some different Damas, but the pigeon's handle stall point is like massive, so I thought it'd be like pretty easy to try to go for this. I also heard a lot of people say that the pull-up handle stall is a lot easier than like the swing handle stall, because the bevel just stays pointing down and you can just pull it up, and it's supposed to be easier, but I don't find it as satisfying, and also I don't like tie my string or anything, so I find the bead always like pops out the bottom of the handle. Either way, I went for the swing, I went for the pull-up, and the handle stall just gives me some troubles. Like, yeah, I know you stick the pinky under the cup, and but it gives me troubles, and I wanted to unlock something new. So let's move to the wing stall, which is another one. It's same spot as the bird, but not using the spike to support it, so it's pretty tough, and I was going for that for a long time. I could feel the bite again from the sharp bevel onto the edge of the cup, and again with the, I guess with the natural Dama it doesn't really make any difference, because you're not relying on the stickiness of the paint at any points. So the fact that this was fresh and had a pretty sharp bevel, and also of course had a wonderfully wet bevel from the licking, made this a little bit easier. Always recommend licking the bevel for the stalls. If you're new or never done that before, give it a shot. It makes a huge difference, and I was able to unlock this little wing stall. Super satisfying. I don't remember if I hit the spike or not, because I'm not watching the clip right now, but I guess you just found out if I missed or not. Let me know. But yeah, with that's like 3 new unlocks today, and super satisfied with this analog Dama. Super excited to have it in hand and play it and break it in and all this stuff. Gave it a custom grass stain job, which wasn't intentional, but things happen. And I hope that's a good little rundown on the Natty experience for you. I can really only tell you like what I experienced. I don't know all what's going to happen in the future, how it's going to be like this or in this situation or this. So I try to run you through everything that I'm feeling. I hope you enjoyed watching me play, have a little session. I hope you watch videos like this and you can grab your Dama and have a good time, escape from the cruel, harsh realities of the real world for a little bit. And with that, send you on your way. Go play Dama. Don't forget, always have a good day. Peace.